Do you often feel tired even after a full night's sleep? Or get out of breath just walking to the mailbox? You might think it's just aging, but what if it's your heart quietly struggling? Many seniors feel fine until one day they're rushed to the hospital with chest pain or dizziness. As a senior health doctor, I've seen this story too many times. And the culprit? Not always fast food or cigarettes. Sometimes it's the simplest things. Daily habits so normal, you don't even notice them. But over time, they wear down your heart. They affect your blood pressure, your arteries, and even your brain. In this video, I'll walk you through 3 everyday habits that could be silently harming your heart right now. Most people over 65 do at least one of these without realizing the risk. The good news? Each one is fixable, and I'll show you how. Stay with me until the end, because the 3rd habit is the most common and most overlooked. Your heart has been working for you every second of your life. Now it's time to give back by making small changes that can keep it strong for years to come. Let's begin. Let me ask you something simple, yet important. What's the very first thing you give your body each morning? Is it coffee? Is it your phone screen? Or is it nothing? You may not realize it, but skipping water first thing in the morning is one of the most common and most harmful habits among seniors. You see, while you sleep, your body continues to work. You breathe, you sweat lightly, you lose moisture, even though you're lying still. By the time you wake up, your body is already running low on water. And if the first thing you do is drink coffee or skip fluids altogether, you're starting the day in a dehydrated state. Why does that matter? Because dehydration thickens your blood, and thick blood makes your heart work harder. Your heart has to push harder to get that sluggish blood through your arteries, increasing strain on your blood vessels, raising your blood pressure, and quietly setting the stage for bigger problems like heart attacks or strokes. For seniors who may already have slower circulation or stiffer arteries, this can be especially dangerous. But the fix is so simple, it almost sounds too easy. Just drink a glass of warm water within 15 minutes of waking up. Yes, warm water, not cold, not sugary. Just warm. Why warm? Because warm water is gentler on your stomach, helps stimulate digestion, and supports better blood flow. It encourages your blood vessels to relax instead of constricting, giving your heart a calmer start to the day. Some of my older patients like to keep a glass of water by their bedside. Others go straight to the kitchen and sip slowly as the sun rises. You don't have to rush. You don't even need to drink a lot. Just about 200 to 300 milliliters is enough. What's important is consistency. Make it a quiet ritual. Just you and your body reconnecting after a night's rest. And if you take morning medications, drinking water beforehand also helps protect your stomach and improves how well your medicine is absorbed. Now I know what some of you might be thinking. But won't I need to use the bathroom more? That's okay. Frequent urination after water is a good sign. It means your kidneys are working, your body is flushing out waste, and your heart isn't being forced to pump thick, sticky blood. In fact, staying hydrated helps prevent dizziness, muscle cramps, and even that tired, heavy feeling some people get after waking up. So if you do one thing tomorrow morning for your heart, make it this: before the coffee, before the news, before the phone. Drink a warm glass of water. It's free, it's simple, and it just might be the easiest heart medicine you've ever taken. Now that your day is off to a healthy start, let's talk about the next step: breakfast. And why what you eat in those first few hours can either protect your heart or quietly harm it. Now that your heart is hydrated and gently awake, let's talk about your very first meal of the day: breakfast. For many seniors, breakfast is a comfortable routine. It might be toast with butter, fried eggs, a cup of coffee, maybe even a little bacon or sausage on the side. It's what you've always had. It's quick. It's familiar. And yes, it tastes good. But here's the hidden truth. That warm, comforting plate could be quietly stressing your heart. Why? Because most traditional breakfasts, the kind we've all grown up with, are loaded with salt, saturated fats, and refined carbohydrates. And those are exactly the things that inflame your blood vessels, raise your cholesterol, and thicken your blood. Now remember this. In the morning, your body is already in a delicate state. Your blood is thicker, your heart rate is rising, and your system is trying to shift from rest to motion. Add in a greasy, heavy meal, and you're asking your heart to sprint before it's ready. In fact, studies have shown that heart attacks are most common in the early morning hours, often within hours of a heavy breakfast. And yet, many seniors don't think twice about what they're eating. They assume, well, I've eaten this way for years and I feel okay. But feeling okay isn't the same as being protected. Your arteries might be narrowing slowly. Your cholesterol might be creeping up, and your heart might be working overtime without any symptoms, until one day it can't anymore. The good news? You don't need to give up breakfast. You just need to reimagine it in a way that works with your heart, not against it. Here's what I often recommend to my patients over 60. Start by swapping white bread for whole grain toast. Whole grains give your body steady energy, and they're full of fiber, which helps lower cholesterol and supports digestion. Instead of processed meats like bacon or sausage, go for something lean and clean, like a couple of boiled eggs or a small serving of low-sodium tuna. If you love cereal, that's okay, but skip the sugary kind. Choose plain oatmeal and dress it up with a handful of berries or a sprinkle of flaxseed. This keeps your blood sugar stable and your heart happy. And what about drinks? Instead of a creamy, sugar-loaded coffee, try switching to herbal tea. Or if you enjoy your coffee, drink it black or with a splash of oat milk. No sugar, no creamers. Even something as small as cutting back 1 sugar cube a day can add up to healthier arteries over time. Now, if you're someone who doesn't feel hungry in the morning, that's okay too. A light smoothie with banana, spinach, and a bit of yogurt is a great alternative. It's easy to digest, heart-friendly, and gives your body a gentle, nourishing start. You see, breakfast doesn't have to be a burden. It can be your first act of care for the day, a quiet thank you to your body for getting you this far. Every bite you take is either feeding your heart or feeding inflammation. The choice is yours. So tomorrow, as you stand at the kitchen counter, take a moment, look at what's on your plate, and ask yourself, is this helping my heart today or hurting it? Make that one small change and let breakfast become not just a habit, but a healing ritual. Coming up next, a habit that doesn't begin in the kitchen, but in the living room. And it's probably keeping your heart from truly resting each night. Now let's talk about something many people never think twice about. A quiet habit that feels harmless, even relaxing. You've had your dinner. The day is done. You settle in with a good TV show, or maybe you check your phone just for a few minutes. Before you know it, it's midnight, and you've spent 2 or 3 hours in front of a screen. It doesn't seem like a big deal, especially if you're just watching the news or catching up on messages. But for seniors, this simple nightly routine may be quietly putting your heart at risk. Let me explain. Your body follows a rhythm, something doctors call the circadian rhythm. It's your body's natural clock. When the sun goes down, your brain starts producing melatonin, a hormone that tells your body it's time to rest. But when you use screens, phones, tablets, or TVs, that blue light entering your eyes tricks your brain into thinking it's still daytime, so your body holds off on releasing melatonin. The result? You stay alert when you should be winding down. Your sleep is delayed. And even when you finally fall asleep, it's not deep or restorative. This alone would be a problem. But it doesn't stop there. When you don't sleep well, your heart doesn't get the rest it needs either. You see, nighttime is when your blood pressure naturally drops. It's when your heart rate slows down. It's your heart's chance to reset, repair, and prepare for the next day. But when you stay up late with screens, that rest never comes. Your blood pressure stays higher. Stress hormones like cortisol remain active. Your heart keeps working hard when it should be recovering. Over time, this habit can raise your risk of high blood pressure, irregular heartbeat, heart failure, and stroke. And it's not just the blue light. It's the content you're absorbing. A dramatic movie, upsetting news, a stressful conversation on social media. All of these stimulate your brain, raise your heart rate, and keep your nervous system on edge. Even if you're just sitting still, your heart is working overtime. So, what can you do? The solution is simple and gentle. Set a digital sunset. Try turning off all screens at least 1 hour before bed. Instead, give your body and your heart a signal that it's time to rest. You might read a light book. You could listen to calming music or nature sounds, or take 5 minutes to stretch, breathe deeply, and reflect on the day. These small actions help your brain slow down, and that helps your heart slow down too. If silence feels lonely, consider soft radio or a bedtime story podcast, something soothing, not stimulating. And if you're worried you won't fall asleep without your usual TV background noise, give it 3 nights. You'd be amazed how quickly your body can relearn stillness. This isn't about removing joy. It's about protecting your sleep and giving your heart what it truly needs. Because rest is not laziness. Rest is healing. And your heart deserves to rest deeply and fully every single night. Coming up next, I'll bring everything together in one final message for your journey toward a stronger, healthier heart. Your heart has been with you through it all. Through quiet mornings and long nights, through stress, joy, laughter, and loss. It beats without pause to carry you forward. And now, as we enter the later chapters of life, your heart is asking for something in return, not in words, but in the way it sometimes races when you're at rest, or feels heavy after a simple walk, or makes you feel more tired than usual, even after a full night's sleep. These are not just signs of age. They are quiet messages from your body, asking for a little help and a little care. In this video, we talked about 3 simple habits, not complicated medical advice, not expensive treatments, just everyday routines that are either helping your heart or slowly wearing it down. We started with hydration, something so small, yet so powerful. A single glass of warm water in the morning helps your heart wake up gently without strain. Then we looked at breakfast and how your first meal can either clog your arteries or give your body clean, steady energy. Finally, we explored the role of nighttime habits, how screens can silently disturb your sleep, and why true rest is a gift your heart desperately needs. Each of these habits on their own may seem harmless, but over time, they shape your blood pressure, your oxygen levels, your energy, and even your mood. They shape how long and how well your heart will continue to serve you. But here's the beautiful part. It's never too late. Whether you're 65, 75, or even 85, your heart is still listening. It still responds to care, to movement, to rest, to love. And when you give it what it needs, with small, consistent acts of kindness, it gives back in ways you can feel. You walk with more ease. You sleep with more calm. You wake with more clarity. You live with more peace. So as we end this time together, I ask you this. What is one small habit you can change starting today? One gentle promise to your heart? Write it down. Remember it. And follow through. Not for perfection, but for presence. And if this video gave you something helpful, a new thought, a quiet encouragement, or even a gentle reminder, I want to ask one more thing. Please subscribe to this channel. Here, we share doctor-backed tips, calming insights, and senior-friendly advice designed for people just like you. Not loud, not rushed, just thoughtful guidance to help you age wisely with strength and calm. So go ahead, click that subscribe button now. Let's keep learning together. Let's keep choosing health over habit, and let's keep honoring the heart that has carried us this far and still has more life to give. Your future self will thank you. Your loved ones will thank you. And most of all, your heart will thank you. Every beat, every day,